Hello, welcome to our quick little cute panel about our mentorship program. We hope that you enjoy our responses to all these questions, but first we wanted to introduce ourselves, so I'll go ahead and start. Hello, my name is Erin Burnett, and I'm currently a second year in the Masters of Healthcare Administration program here at USC Price. And I'll be speaking from the mentee perspective since I was a mentee in 2021 application season. Yeah.
My name is Ruth McCormack, and I am a second year Masters of Public Administration student. I have been a mentor both during the 2021 year and the 2022 year. And currently, and that's my story.
Hi, my name is Matthew Bain. I use he, they pronouns, and I'm one of the co-presidents for MAP. I'm a second year Master of Public Policy student at Price. This is my first year being a mentor, despite being with MAP for 2 years now.
Right, and my name is Justin Englund. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a first year MPA student and a first year mentor here in MAP. And I'm also one of the mentorship chairs for our program. Enjoy our panel.
I definitely initially applied and continued to want to be a mentor with MAP because I remember how hard it was for me to apply. And I didn't know about MAP at the beginning of my application process, and I asked almost everyone I knew, and I had my own kind of worries in my own head about I wasn't good enough, or all of my own insecurities came out during the process, and just being there to help other people with this application process was something really important to me.
Yeah, I think I can go next. I think from a mentee perspective, I applied to be a mentee for MAP in my application season because I felt like I just needed that additional support. I think especially, being a Black woman, you're like unsure of am I gonna make it like in this huge private institution? And so I think it was really nice for me to be matched with someone who identifies in that same way, who can give me a realistic view of what her experience was like, and also just be really encouraging, what you bring to the table is also valuable, your voice is needed, stuff like that. And so I think that's kind of what sets our mentorship program apart, is that we try to match not only degree program, not only career interests, but also your own identities and your own backgrounds, so that you can have someone that can support you holistically as a person. And so I felt like I really got that out of MAP, and I feel like it strengthened my application overall as well.
Yeah, I think for me, similarly echoing off of what they had said, as a mentor, I think I've had a really good experience with my mentee, who as someone who identifies as LGBTQ+ or queer. I think when I was looking into USC, I didn't know if there'd be space for my queer identity and just in general being able to express my fullest authentic selves. And so being able to provide that support for another student who is looking for that at Price or at another school, I think is something really important for me. I think outside of the mentorship program itself, MAP does a really good job at creating diversity and spaces that are inclusive on campus, and that's part of the reason why I began to organize with MAP more, because I wanted to create spaces not only to bring diverse students to MAP and to Price, but make sure that we're creating diverse spaces on campus as well. And so I just feel like that has been really pivotal for bringing students of different backgrounds to Price, and in general being able to recruit more students with different experiences.
You guys all bring up really pertinent points. I think that when you're going through the grad school application process, especially if you're someone like me, or I think you guys too perhaps, who maybe don't know anybody who's gone to grad school before, or don't have anybody to help guide you through the program, or if you're just going through a big life change, it's really important to know that there are other students and other faculty members on your side, people who want to see you succeed, people who are going to be relatable. Just knowing that everybody here at USC isn't this big, fancy, out of touch person, but that we are really relatable people who are here to help you. And so I wanted to make sure that I could be a part of that by being a mentor here in MAP.
Yeah, I think that's a great point that you add, is like being a part of the mentorship program for me was like kind of getting a taste of like what that Trojan network is like, and like kind of having people like step up and support you in a really like outstanding, like heartwarming, I guess, like kind of way. And like to your point is like, this is a great resource for those of you who don't have that person who went to master's for their master's degree, or maybe for their doctorate, or don't know anyone that went through that process. I mean, going through your graduate application, like the process itself was like, for me at least, it was like very stressful. A lot of doubts come up. I went through like a lot of self-reflection, because your entire application is like all about you and like your experiences, and like now you have to figure out, you know, how can I appreciate and highlight my strengths and my skills without sounding like I'm boasting, without sounding too like prideful, but you know, not trying to dim my light, you know, not trying to undermine all the great things that I have done. So I think the mentorship program is good for that, as well as like as far as trying to find that balance, especially in your personal statement, because that's, I feel like, the hardest piece of the application, I think.
I can start this one off. I kind of touched on it in the first question, but in general, I think I just love building connections and relationships with people. So my favorite part of being a mentor to my mentee is just actually getting to know them as a person for their holistic self. Like, yes, I support them in their statement of purpose and being able to get through the application for grad school, but in general, we just sat down and had conversation with each other and like learned about each other, and now we're good friends. And you know, so not only were we like acquaintances like within the school, but now like we're like, let's go get lunch together if you're in LA, that kind of thing, right? And so just being able to build a relationship with folks has been really good for me. Yeah, and I think it's a really great way to bring in other students who, you know, might not be from LA and don't have any connections, so they could be coming here without knowing anyone. And so being able to be that kind of pathway for them to meet more people and having one person that they at least know really well is really helpful for new students too.
Yeah, I think that like the most rewarding part about being a mentor in MAP for me has just been helping people understand that they're good enough to be here, and to help them overcome feelings of self-doubt that they might be having in the application process. It's super daunting, but being able to talk with someone, being able to have that, you know, quality time, that good conversation with someone else, and help them understand that it's not a matter of if, but how they're going to be able to accomplish this. That's like just such a good moment for me that I love throughout this mentorship process.
Yeah. I have to reiterate that, both of those exactly. Just for me too, meeting with my mentees and just having that moment where, exactly what you said, just having them realize that the worry of, if you want to do this, you can get it done. It's just maybe if it doesn't work out in this exact situation, it can and will work out, and your path is going to go the way you want it. Maybe not exactly as you see it, but you will always find a way to get to where you need to go.
Yeah, I think I concur. All of those things. I think it's really cool to hear like the mentor perspective of it all, like trying to guide your mentee to like that mental switch, I guess, where it's like, oh, like, okay, like I can see myself, or like I can do this, or I think that's really awesome. I think I definitely experienced that as well. I think like, you know, this mentorship program, along with like, you know, connecting to other alumni like throughout my application season, like really helped me get to that point as well. So yeah. I don't know, so many. I mean, I think thinking about grad school in general, I feel like you should prepare yourself to kind of undergo like a transformation, especially attending like the price school in particular. It equips you with a lot of skills that you might not have had. I think like a lot of soft skills in addition to like the technical skills or like the knowledge you might gain. And I feel like doing this mentorship program is kind of like your first step into that, like putting your first little toe in the water, like of that transformation. And I think a lot of it has to do with like the confidence that you guys were talking about, knowing that you do belong here and that you do have a voice, and you, like what you say, what you have to say matters, what you have to contribute matters. And then I feel like starting with the mentorship program all the way to like graduation is like, it just builds on top of that, and then you just continue improving, really. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, hearing you speak made me realize the thing that I find most beneficial as well is just learning that you don't have to do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a big component of that. Is so often I remember growing up and being kind of, through whether it was society or culture or my teachers or my parents or whoever it was at the time, was just like, okay, it's you against the world almost. That was the kind of sensation you got. But then being here in the mentorship program is definitely a big component of this too. It's that you're never really alone.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here to help you throughout the process of both applying at MAP, but then also when you're here, there's so many communities for you to be a part of, and MAP is still here too. But then also when you come to Price, there's so much group work, and that goes to it too, where it's just, you're never alone, and that's a big benefit.
I think that for me, whether it's in the mentorship aspect of MAP or just being here working with all of you and the rest of the people on our board, something that I was really concerned about when I was coming to USC was whether I'd be able to relate to people, whether I'd be able to find a community. And I think that having spaces on our campus, having spaces here within the Price School, where we can come together and have conversations about our backgrounds and how that influences the way that our school looks and feels, is really important. And that's something that makes me feel like I belong, and something that I feel is a really, really crucial part of having an inclusive environment here in our graduate programs.
Yeah, echoing everything that y'all said, and especially Justin, your point to like feeling comfortable and feeling like you belong here at school. I think for me, I was really looking for space where I could be my fullest self and all the different identities that I hold. And I remember like something that was really striking for me through MAP was when someone had told us that the event that we put on, our multicultural exhibit, she partook in it, and she told us that she was really thankful that she got to share a piece of her home with her. And for me, that has like carried, really the mission of what I envision MAP, and I think what we all here envision MAP as, and being able to create an inclusive space that really centers the students and is really highlighting each of our different experiences.
Yeah, I agree with all those things. And I think just kind of add to everything amazing that's been said so far. I think that being in grad school itself can be quite an isolating experience. So I think it's nice that you have spaces like from grad school, like within Price, where you feel like, oh, we're going through the same thing, or oh, like you get me, or you understand this part of my identity, or whatever, or like we're struggling through the same thing. I mean, I can't tell you how many times like I open up to a classmate and they're like, same, like I've been feeling the same way, and I'm like, we're all going through it together.
Yes.
So I think that's like a very necessary part of like your grad school experience, because I mean, I don't have a lot of friends like outside of here that know what going through grad school is like. It can be quite intense sometimes, whether it's finals or projects or, trying to get a certain internship and things like that. So I think, MAP as an org, and like also with the mentorship program, we kind of add to that in like creating those spaces where you feel, like you said, a little less alone and you feel supported. So, yeah.